Hey everybody, welcome to week 7.5. Okay, drum roll please. We're at the end. Isn't that wonderful? It's great. It's great. If you've gotten to this point, pat yourself on the back. Kudos to you. This is not an easy thing. I know a lot of you have even if you've been on top of your work and you've been doing great work with you've been getting great grades, a lot of things come up. I know a lot of you have had to, deal with emergencies or deal with health issues and illnesses and just kind of navigate schooling and work and family life all at the same time. It's not an easy thing. So even if you felt like getting through the work in this class isn't too bad, doing that with everything else, kind of juggling all those balls at once, that is challenging. It's immensely challenging. So be proud of where you are right now. Okay. Finishing up your first term as an online college student, not an online high school, not, no, online college student. That's a big deal. It's a big deal. So I want you to recognize that and I want you to be proud of what you've accomplished. If you can do this, you can definitely finish your degree. In fact, we look at the numbers, we collect data and statistics all the time here. Students who finish and succeed in that first term are far more likely to progress to graduation and be very successful along the process. So know that if you've gotten here, be proud of what you've accomplished. So, what does all this mean? It's Friday, week 7, but somehow it's week 7.5 as well. So remember what I said in my last video, my week 7 video. Week 7 starts on that Sunday and goes to Saturday, all right, just like we would expect every full week. Week 7.5 starts on Friday and goes until Monday. Monday is the last day of class. So there is that overlap, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right, where we're going to have a little bit of overlap. Now, before you get worried and say, oh my gosh, I'm barely just holding on with all my other work, what we're doing in week 7.5 is not that hard. There's basically 2 assignments, and you just get through them. That's the biggest thing. You get through those, you're going to be fine. Well, 2 assignments and a discussion board. Um, so what we're going to be talking about is kind of wrapping things up, kind of the relevance of everything we've talked about in INFT 124. Basically, why are we doing what we're doing? Why are you taking a class like this? So a lot of the things in the lecture and in discussion are going to be just kind of reflecting back on how the whole term went and what you think really matters about this. Like, why does it matter that we're doing a class like this? The other thing we're going to be doing is something on graphic literacy. So remember, we've talked a little bit about information literacy. This is, how do we find data, especially online, and how do we interpret it? How do we determine what is and what isn't reliable information online, right? And that can be a challenge. Graphic literacy, I think, is associated with that, but it is different. This is being able to retrieve and interpret data from graphic representations, charts and graphs, basically. This is something we do all the time, okay? Whether we're reading a menu or reading a menu or reading a recipe or reading a bus schedule or doing our taxes or helping our kids with their homework online, we are interpreting data that we're reading and kind of seeing in graphic forms, graphic representations. We touched upon this a little bit when we talked about Excel. And so we're just going to hit this full on here. So one of the things you're going to be doing is an assessment, a short assessment, 38 questions, in which you're going to be challenged to really understand and put to use graphic literacy, your ability to read charts and graphs and tables and things like that. Now, this is a tough test, but it's not graded. I mean, you get a grade, but the grade does not apply to your overall score. So if you do poorly and you're like, oh my gosh, I got a 52, don't worry. That does not in any way affect your overall INFT 124 score. Okay. In fact, the average student usually gets around, in the 50s or something like that. So the level here is everything from high school level all the way to doctoral level kinds of questions. It's not expected that you're going to get 100. It's not expected that you're going to get into the 90s. Don't worry about that. It's all about just challenging you to start thinking differently about graphic literacy and really taking it seriously. Now, what is graded is the reflection based on this assessment. Okay, so you're going to basically do a reflection and talk about the importance of graphic literacy, talk about this test itself. You can talk about how it's challenging. You can talk about how you didn't like it, whatever you want. Okay. The only difference is that you're not going to upload your reflection to Blackboard in the traditional way. You're going to put it through ePortfolio. And this is because ePortfolio is this online professional portfolio that you're going to be getting introduced to each term. okay, in a variety of classes. And this is the first term where we're just kind of getting used to it. So there are instructions in the Week 7.5 folder on how to get into ePortfolio and how to upload your document. Below those instructions, or a link to it, is the link you're going to use to actually upload your Word document. It sounds complex. It may kind of make you a little anxious. Don't worry about it, okay? It's really pretty easy when you just follow those instructions, watch the video. You should be okay. But this is a short week. It's exciting because you're at the end. If you have questions, if you have concerns, anything comes up at all, folks, you guys, you know where to find me. Just reach out. Thanks.